Hello, everybody. It's me, Ross, and welcome back to another edition of Meet the Opposition. Today, I'm joined by Matt from the Boundary Park Alert System podcast, covering all things Oldham Athletic ahead of Town's clash with the Latics this weekend in the FA Cup first round League Two. Matt, many ups and downs at Oldham. Has been not a great season so far. Well, not a great last few seasons for you guys. How would you assess that? And welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us. It's a pleasure to join you. And I mean, the last time we got promoted from any division was when we played Ipswich back in 1991. So it's mainly been downs since then, mate. We've been promoted once in 74 and once in 91, and that's it. So we are the perennial underachievers, and now we're languishing in the bottom four of League Two. So if ever you were going to pick a time to play Oldham in the Cup, this is probably it, to be honest.
And of course, we haven't played Oldham since 1997. I'm sorry to bring it up. It was a 4-0 win at Portland Road for Town. So it's been a while since we played you. When the draw came out, of course, a lot of Town fans wanted Sudbury because they're a non-league team. They're a local non-league team for us. So we're like, oh, let's get Sudbury. That'd be an amazing draw. We got you, Oldham. What was your reaction when we got it? And I'm sure you guys the FA Cup could be a little distraction from the league, can't it? But you probably went, oh, Ipswich Town. Oh, great.
Yeah, to be honest, we wanted Sudbury. That was that's what we'd been looking out for. So we were a bit disappointed with Ipswich. But we'll battle on. At the end of the day, it doesn't make any difference if it's Sudbury or if it's Ipswich. None of us we wouldn't fancy our chances either way. To be perfectly honest with you, we've got no form going into it. I think it was one of those kind of like, oh, Ipswich. We've not played those for a long time. I didn't realize at the time it was quite that long, but. We've just avoided each other for a long time. We were in League One for 21 years, and now we've done 4 years in League Two. And if we make it into 5 years in League Two, we'll be doing quite well considering where we're perched at the minute. So, I'd like to think that the FA Cup offered a little bit of a welcome distraction. And if we beat you, it will feel like a big win, to be honest, because there's a gulf between Ipswich Town and Oldham now. That's similar to what we called Sudbury and Oldham. It's similar kind of gap. That's how it feels, because it just feels like we're just diminishing all the time every year in from where we were, So,
yeah. Or if people don't really know much about Oldham and your current situation, I know a lot of things going on. I've been seeing videos and the coffin outside the stadium, the ownership. Can you sort of just quickly give us a little brief snippet of what's been going on? And this season it's not been great, of course, following the side. But yeah, give us a brief little snippet of what's been going on.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were languishing in League One, like I said, for 21 years, and it just like death by a thousand cuts, really. Avoided relegation a couple of times. Needed somebody to come in and take over, but the chairman at the time said, look, we're not going to sell the club to just anybody. It's got to be the right person. So rewind to 2017-18 season, Mr. Lemsingham and his brother come along and I sold the club. So then we were thinking, okay, well, this must be the right guy. Got relegated that first season that he took over, and since then it's just been a disaster. We've had 9 managers in that time. Every season we start the season with a new manager. We've got through hundreds of players, loans, late wages, winding up petitions, debentures, late rent, just all the usual things that happen when someone's running a football club really badly. A lot of us have been going on about it for a long time, particularly this podcast. Sometimes, you know what it's like with football fans. Some people just don't want to see they can't see the wood for the trees kind of thing. They don't want to see it. This season we started so badly. I think that's what really triggered off the sort of protest. But I think it would have happened last year when we had Harry Kewell. We started the season just as badly, but there was nobody in the ground to do anything about it. So this season, same thing happened again. Tennis balls, pitch invasions, protests outside the ground. And it's just got to the point now where everyone's completely had enough and we're trying to do what we can to turn it around. But like on our podcast, we've spoke to supporters from trusts at Brentford, Portsmouth, Leyton Orient, Blackpool, loads of other clubs, Stockport County. some of the stories are really desperate in terms of like how low they get before they get themselves back in gear. But we've had some really inspirational stories about what trusts can do, supporters trust can do. So that's what we're working on now. We're working on re-establishing our supporters trust, building up a fund, and trying to liaise with potential investors and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully it's as bad as it's going to get, but it could get worse. And what happens on the pitch on Saturday against Ipswich, whether we lose, well, it was you guys that got pummeled at Anfield, wasn't it? Was it 9-0 or 9-1 or something?
Man United 9-0.
Man United, was it 9-0? Yeah. I mean, even if we get beat 9-0 by Ipswich, it doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. We're all looking at now what the future of the football club might look like, and yeah, it's difficult times, but that's when you need your fans the most, isn't it?
Definitely. And well, let's talk about the game then, and let's go and talk about Keith Curle, your manager, and the possible Oldham 11. I'm going to bring out the team that you're predicting, and hold opportunity here to name check a few players and players that we should look out for. Any danger men going into this game, and yeah, what do you reckon?
Well, we've been under a transfer embargo since the season started. So in terms of our signings, it's been limited. Keith Curle's the first manager that we've had since 2017-18 who ended one season and started the other. So we were hopeful that maybe that kind of continuity would see us doing okay. But we signed 5 new players on the first day of the season, and everything's restricted. So a lot of the players that we've got that have come in this season have been probably injury concerns or couldn't get gigs elsewhere, that kind of thing. So we're not blessed with a load of quality in the squad. Harrison McGahey and Luttweiler, there was both contentious issues about their contracts when they signed, which contradicted the embargo. So they missed the first sort of 5 games of the season or whatever. But since they've come in, they've made us more solid. So McGahey, Piergianni and Clark, not too bad. Piergianni's got a lot of mistakes in him, but usually play that 3 at the back because that's what Keith Curle just goes to bed at night thinking about 3 at the back, wakes up in the morning thinking about 3 in the back, and just will not change it. It doesn't matter, even if he had, I can't remember the name of the Chipmunks, but those 3, if they were, he'd play them 3 at the back. You know what I mean? It's like that, but we're not really good enough for that. But there we go. He keeps persisting with it. But we have got more solid, and then he plays the 4 across midfield. The midfield is very young, very inexperienced, and very lightweight. Not the problem that we've had is we've never built a squad for League Two. So in some ways, if we're playing a team that is above us in divisions and a bit more of a footballing side, but they're not like Premier League quality like Brentford, who beat us 7-0 in the League Cup, then it might be a bit of an easier ride for us because our lads don't like the League Two big lads, the hustle and bustle. They're not big enough. And then up front, Dylan Bahambula, really, really tricky. You could come away from that game saying, what the hell is he doing playing in League Two? Or you might not notice him for 90 minutes. Or you might not notice him for 90 minutes and then he smashes one in the top corner in the last minute. He's one of those players. Keeler Dunn can be a danger as well. Hallam Hope, I think he scored 1 goal for us. And he played at right wing back last week and he played at centre forward for most of the beginning of the season. So I don't know where he's going to play exactly. What I would say in that squad, though, is Benny Couto, who plays left wing back, is a young lads on the youth system, and they're really good players, real talents that have come through because of the restrictions that we've had. Sometimes the young lads get forced in and really step up, and hopefully you'll get a glimpse of what they're capable of because they're actually really talented footballers. So I don't think it's a case that the players in the team aren't good. It's just that the balance of the team is all off, and it's a real struggle to get performances and consistencies, and there's not any kind of real logic to it. And it's every week, it's just, they just struggle to get any kind of consistency, any kind of fluidity, any kind of, we haven't got any goals in us. And, we leak, so, I mean, the picture I'm painting is pretty desperate, isn't it? But that's the reality of it. That's why we're 4th bottom in Division 4. You know what I mean? You can't paper over that, can you?
No. What sort of game can we expect then from an Oldham side? What sort of football does Keith Curle play? He was at Northampton last year. He got them promoted, and of course he then got sacked because they were struggling, and they eventually got relegated. But what sort of game? You said you struggle against the big League Two target men sort of thing. We don't really play that sort of thing. We've got a lot of tricky players. We've got a lot of nice passing football around the back. So is that what you actually don't mind seeing, and you'll be okay playing against that sort of side?
The thing is, we don't really have an identity. We don't really have a style of play. Like, we do have a couple of wide players. If they get wide and they put balls in the box, there's generally nobody there because we don't have a sort of target man or somebody that wants to get in there. So we don't really have enough pace to hit you on the break. It's really confusing. It's hard to describe. There's no style of play. I think if there's a bit more room, it'll suit us better to sort of knock the ball around the first 2/3 of the pitch and then not really do anything with it. Like I said, there are players like Keeler Dunn, Harry Vaughan, and Bahambula who, if we have a bit of possession, you might do something special because they do that from time to time. But it's not going to be one of those kind of like FA Cup games where you play aside from League Two and you're just expecting the big long balls and the big lads up front and making it that kind of game for you, because we're not that kind of team. And can we hold on to the ball enough to really frustrate you? I doubt it. Like I said, the midfield is lightweight, so if they all play at their best, we might give you a game. It might be a decent football game, but I'd say you're going to have too much for us, to be honest.
And that's my next question. Really, is your prediction? We've already been beaten by a League Two team this season already. In the League Cup, we lost against Newport County, but that was very early in the season. We had a time we signed 19 new players, time the gel and all that, and we've had time the gel now. So it's going to be a whole different situation. But the FA Cup, the magic of the FA Cup, anything can happen. What do you reckon then? Would you just be happy if we just won 4-0 and, game done, dusted, there we go? Or, what do you reckon?
I don't think we're going to win. I think if we got a draw, that would be an amazing result to get you back up here, just to annoy you and drag you all up to Oldham on a Tuesday night for the first round of the FA Cup. The great thing about the FA Cup is that it is the FA Cup. You just never know, do you? There's absolutely no evidence to suggest that we're going to pull out a performance, but it's what makes the whole thing interesting. There's always going to be the odd shock in the first round. It would be a shock, but I'm not going to. I always get my predictions wrong and never get it right. So I'm going to go for an Ipswich win, and I think if we can avoid conceding early, maybe 2-0 to Ipswich, something like that. Maybe hold out for the first half at 0-0, and then in the second half you can get a couple of goals, and that'll be that. So that's my hopeful prediction. 0-0 at half time. I'm happy with that, and then anything else is a bonus. But it's the magic of the FA Cup. You might get a lad sent off for a professional foul in the first 5 minutes. We get a penalty, 1-0. And something to hold on to, there's the potential of that. So let's wait until that first Ipswich goal goes in after 3 minutes, and then,
Yeah, as you said, I don't want to replay. No offense, I would like to go to Belgium, but I've never been there before myself. But not on a Tuesday night and not in a replay in the first round. But anything can happen. We'll see. Matt, it's been a pleasure. Any other notes before we wrap up?
No, just all the best. Just all the best to Ipswich, because I know it's not been easy for you, and I know that you've been struggling. You've not had much success in the way you've not had a promotion for a long time either, have you? And it's tough. It doesn't matter who you support. I mean, if it's a grind week in, week out, it's a grind. So if you do go on and beat us, then you get a bit of a cup run and you have some good days. But hopefully we'll cause a shock instead.
Wait and see. I know our record in the FA Cup isn't great the last decade or so. I think we've only won one game in the last 10, 15 years in the FA Cup. So,
wow.
Well, it's a horrible.
Oh, record. I didn't know that. So, 3-0 to Oldham, easy, no problem.
Well, if it happens, it happens. But
the thing is, when we go up against these records of, they haven't done this in this, we're the ones that always end up helping you break that duck.
We're the same as well. We're the same when we play against a team who haven't won at home all season or haven't scored or whatever away from home. And here we go. Here's the win. Here's the goal. There we go. But let's see if records get broken. Yeah.
What I will say, I can't make it down at the weekend because it's my sister-in-law's 40th and my mum's 70th at the same weekend. But our away fans are great, and if there's 300-400 of them going down there, they're going to have a great day out, and they're a real credit The fans are, especially the away fans, are a real credit considering what we've had to put up with, and so I hope they have a great day. I hope they get a goal, and I hope we're in the game enough for them that they enjoy themselves. Because honestly, for what we've had to put up with, our away support, it really is second to none. So I hope they all have a great day out, and I hope you enjoy them and they enjoy you, and you all have a good party down there.
Definitely. I look forward to that. Safe trip to all the Oldham fans if you're watching. Matt, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. Get involved in the comments down below. Your thoughts, the FA Cup, the magic of the FA Cup. Looking forward to this one at Portman Road. We'll see you all there. Bye-bye for now.